Stream starts in 3, 2.
5 seconds left. 10 seconds remaining.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Elsa League. This is only game number 1 of Checkmate versus We Are Veterans. It'll be a best of 1 for tonight. We'll be seeing these two teams clash off against each other, and of course, I'm joined by my co-caster, none other than Mr. Mad Hatton.
Yes, that is me. Yeah, so what are you keen to see tonight? Hopefully, what picks do they have? Which bands they have?
Well, naturally, you know, according to the meta, how stuff's going is the heroes that are pretty strong in the triangle farming, which is basically the 4 heroes that'll be banned out. I'm assuming Drow Ranger will come one of the 6 heroes that gets banned out. A hero that's weird in the ban now is the Earthshaker, because it's not really a highly contested hero that brings a lot to the he brings a lot to the team naturally, but it's sort of like more of a natural hero that does well. And then they still ban out the Chaos Knight, which means that they were expecting Checkmate to pick up some illusions because they based the ban on the Earth Spirit. So maybe we'll see a PL because the Chaos Knight's already banned out. We could see something weird going on with what they pick up with the PL. But first picking PL is also not really a good thing for them. I mean, you could still go into heroes that build a Battle Furies. You still have the Naga Siren, so I don't know what Checkmate will bring to the table, but banning out that Earthshaker seems a bit trivial to me. I mean, then some of the next heroes would still be your main supports would have been preferred, like the Earth Spirit, but naturally I don't think heroes here play the Earth Spirit that well. So Oracle's another great hero. It's just Oracle just kind of buys you time when you're on the back foot, which is why Oracle's not being picked up that much now. So I think from the picks and bans, it's pretty straightforward, but the Drow is still in the pool, and the Weaver as well, so maybe they'll pick someone will pick it up here.
Oh, I mean, they definitely did an Earthshake, which is weird in my opinion. They first picked Necro. Does this mean Checkmate might be picking a Drow like you were talking about, or?
Well, Necro is all round still good, right?
Yeah.
Because
That's very true.
he farms great, he doesn't die that easily, so it's a pretty tanky hero going into the offlaner.
There we go.
And it is a okay counter against the Drow Ranger, but the Drow Ranger is being picked up here by Checkmate. So this is the question I have, right? If you know the meta is still pretty strong, it depends on how you use the Drow as well, because if Drow goes mid after the 5-minute mark, she just starts farming the triangle and gets completely overpowered, whereas with the Dire side it's even easier because the 3 camps are sort of a bit better placed for the movement for the flow of farming them, right? So Checkmate picking up the Drow Ranger, and We Are Veterans kind of saying we don't care if you have the Drow Ranger, we're just going to go against it. But then the push lineup comes out as well from the Jakiro, so they're already going to start making space for the Drow Ranger to farm with an early push lineup. This means that Veterans kind of have to counter that now in the end, because you have a bit of late game from Drow Ranger. Eventually she starts farming and she becomes whatever you need her to be with the right items, right? Because she can farm into anything. Like if she needs crit, she can go into crit. If she goes, she could go the tank a bit more tanky. She could build BKB. She could build. It's a very versatile carry hero. So pretty weird that they went through with it, but We Are Veterans, it seems like We Are Veterans also want to go for something like an Alchemist or a Lifestealer, which is very good against the Drow Ranger. So we'll have to see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Spirit Breaker comes out either, or like a Bounty Hunter that's just going to annoy this Drow Ranger. But the Juggernaut ban is there from Checkmate as well.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Sorry, it's actually quite hard to keep up with this lineup at the moment. So, yeah, Witch Doctor. I mean, they're both considered supports, with Necro being all-rounder.
Dire team's turn to pick.
I'm not entirely sure what we are veterans have in store for us tonight in this game.
So what I do find pretty weird though is checkmate.
They got very really good disables. Both teams.
Yeah, so the other thing that I find pretty weird right now is that checkmate pick up the Lich, but they ban out 2 heroes that work perfectly well with the Lich, which is the Juggernaut and the Ursa. So I'm not too sure what to expect from them now. I mean, is this some sort of core Weaver, or is it a Lich in the off lane going with the Bristleback? The Darkseer coming out from We Are Veterans. So We Are Veterans clearly stating that they want to have early game push. With the Necrophos and the Darkseer being able to clear waves and being able to take fights early, also building up the Guardian's Greaves very early, and there's checkmate with the Underlord. That's the perfect counter to quick push as well. So naturally the side of We Are Veterans isn't that tanky either, so they still have a very good chance. Underlord's just, he's tanky, and once he starts getting up that atrophy aura, it's annoying to deal with, but you can definitely still work around with it. But if they're creating space with Jakiro Litz and Underlord, you kind of have to worry about where the Drow Ranger is the whole time, and that's the thing that I don't see We Are Veterans countering that much right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a very big problem, especially with Drow Rangers' silence gust that she has. You know, just that can usually just disable an entire team fight, just like that.
Yeah, so
latching and then each with an ulti, and then it all just there's actually great team fight possibility with checkmates, from what I can see so far.
It seems like checkmate, or at least We Are Veterans assume that the Drow Ranger's going mid, right? Because, well, they ban out the Morphling as well, so it's not too bad. Morphling could go mid or core as well, so I'm not too sure what they're trying to pick up. The Templar Assassin is still in the pool as well. And this Nyx is the one that's going to counter the Drow Ranger now, so this is perfect. This is a very good lineup from We Are Veterans. If they can execute it properly, they've got good team fight. They just need something that's kind of got a bit better control and split push, if I can put it that way.
Something about tankier as well. You want to be able to be malleable inside.
I mean,
in the single lane,
you could still go Dragonite. Dragonite's an overall... It's a boring hero to play, which is why it doesn't see a lot of play. The Gyrocopter's still in the pool, although Gyrocopter's not that strong in terms of tankiness either. Otherwise, you're going to have to go with Bristleback or Wraith King. So We Are Veterans kind of need to counter that. I mean, I think they're going with the
Wraith King actually worked very well.
Yeah, because they banned out the AA as well. So I'm assuming that is a hero that they're definitely looking at, and it will work well with the Nyx Assassin as well, and the Darkseer. Not too much with the Necrophos and the Witch Doctor, but naturally if they're in your back line, you kind of you have a lot going for you, because you have 2 heroes that build Radiance, which is maybe a bit greedy for both of them. So you'll have the Wraith King building into other items that are a bit more tanky, maybe even going in for the Crimson, building in the Vanguard, going into the Crimson Guard kind of thing, where you're not too worried about the Mortal Strike doing its crit damage. You just want him to be able to get his farm off. So other thing is when Wraith King runs out of mana, so definitely want to ban out those Diffusal Blade carriers.
Early game, that is.
Yeah.
You don't want that early game. I mean, eventually if you get enough levels of Wraith King, and then mana cost doesn't really matter.
I think I still...
Remaining.
Yeah, I'd still like the Templar Assassin for both teams, actually.
5 seconds remaining.
It's not too good with We Are Veterans because they have the tanky Underlord, right? But if you start focusing around the team fight with the Drow Ranger and the Jakiro, that Templar Assassin is able to pick off anyone anytime quickly. And then the Templar Assassin in checkmate is exactly what they need, because they need that extra burst damage, that extra kind of hero that you need to focus. Then again, the Templar Assassin won't do too good with the Jakiro because the refraction charges won't last too long. But I mean, still, it's a good hero for if you get the Lich and the Jakiro early in the fight, then you're going to do okay. It is going to be the Alchemist though. The AA was banned out, so it was either Alchemist or Wraith King really. But Alchemist now seems very greedy with the Necrophos in there as well. Next Assassin will probably look to build the Dagon, and he has a lot of targets to focus though. I mean, you're not really going for the Drow Ranger the whole time. The Drow Ranger is #1 priority, but if you get the Lich and the Jakiro as well, you're still at the advantage. And then you have good push with the Necrophos and the Alchemist. So a very well-rounded draft for We Are Veterans, but that is assuming that they are ahead.
Ooh, a razor pick.
Yeah, that's definitely
quite a bit.
Yeah, it works perfect against the Alchemist. Doesn't counter the rest too much. Obviously, Witch Doctor doesn't want to get caught up in there, so it's definitely just the counter to the Alchemist. But going into the laning phase, Alchemist should still be doing fine in the mid lane because he can acid spray and the Razor has to stand back and. So
exactly. Alchemist is also really great. He's in the current meta now with his farming possibility. That is. Get a Radiant very quickly. Radiance.
This is why the Dragon Knight seems to be the better matchup against the Alchemist because he has natural health gain, but Razor's still good. If he can soak damage from anyone, then it's not a matter of him taking damage away from anyone. Naturally, it is the first priority, but the fact that he gains damage helps a lot. So probably be a Desolator build-up for him. I'm not seeing any tankiness too much from them except for the Underlord, so that'll be the guy building into. Probably the Pipe of Insight will be the first thing that he has to go into, right? I mean, you're going up against the Necrophos, you're going up against the Alchemist's Acid Spray, you're going up against the from the Darkseer, so.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, exactly. But it seems like one of the teams are setting to get a nice smoke off at the bottom.
Yeah, 4 heroes moving up.
Yeah,
Jakira has a smoke.
There's definitely a smoking goal. They're going to see if they can get like a double game going off. Yep. I see, this is what Checkmate loves doing. Just smoking up and then he's getting 1 or 2 kills.
Yeah.
So, we'll take it. Yeah. Static link taken first.
Well, they still have to go up against if they take up the Spike Carapace from the Nyx Assassin, it's probably not the hero that they'll be able to focus. But they do need to make sure that if they can get the Necrophos first, that's a very good advantage for them. So they're moving up now.
Yes.
We might see some action on the Darkseer here. They don't have a lot of choice here. The Static Link is going to be there. They're slowing down this Darkseer because of the shield from the Lich going in there as well now. Doing a lot of damage onto the Necrophos, actually. He seems to be the one dropping the lowest. He will get the heal in. One more hit will be enough. They even try to block it off with the tree, but it won't be able to make it. And then Razor pays for it with his life. Now the Nyx Assassin dropping low. The Jar Ranger's there. Turns around. Does get the stun off now. Nyx, you're dropping low. You have to get back here, Jakira. Just get the ruins and go. Okay, so it's going to be 2 ruins. It's actually going to be 2 ruins each.
Yeah, that was a nice one for one trade. I guess some Razor got a bit greedy there, bottom.
Yeah, the stun being picked up from the Witch Doctor, paralyzing cask level 1, so very good for him. That means that the Underlord wasn't able to get the ruin because he was stunned, and then the Firestorm is there from the Underlord, which is not going to do too good against this Alchemist. He's pretty tanky, so the Necrophos is going up against the Jar Ranger in the mid lane.
Yeah, definitely got a nice support jet top abnormal behavior, which is just keeping that lane from getting much leverage.
I can see this bottom lane from the Radiant side doing very well though, because the Razor with the Static Link, and then you've got the Frost Shield that actually reduces the movement speed. So until Razor gets the phase boots, he's already soaking a lot of damage, which will zone out anyone who's in that lane.
So it's great for his Static Link, which slows down enemies anyways. So that helps.
3 more seconds on this Witch Doctor with the Liquid Fire. Still has Firestorm taking a bit of... This is 2 heroes that just push the lane. Because so the idea with this is you don't care whether the Alchemist gets the last hits or the denies too much. You just want to push down that tower as soon as possible, because then you start controlling the rest of the map and start controlling the Dire Side's jungle and the way they have to move forward and so it's a very good... It's a perfect sort of lineup for these guys, but they're focusing the Liquid Fire now onto the Witch Doctor a bit much, where I feel like it should be going onto the lane. Just throw the Liquid Fire in the lane, throw the Firestorm down as well, which does damage to the creeps, and then have your creep wave just push in the whole time. And as soon as you get the catapult waves coming in, it's going to mean a lot of damage on that tower for the Dire side. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, this Alchemist is definitely going to keep the rotation, yeah.
He needs the acid spray, right? So he needs acid spray as soon as possible so that he can counter this push. In which case, it is good to have the Alchemist in the lane, but he has the Grievel's Greed up level 1, so they're still going to take a substantial amount of damage. They just need to make sure that they can capitalize it in the laning phase still, off of that. So that's going to be the difference for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hopefully, with when this pause is done for, we can just carry on casting with this game. Don't exactly know what's going to be happening with bottom lane. Razor's definitely got himself leverage by Docs here, or with Docs here.
So while the last hits and the denies are now Alchemist sitting at 3 and 0, with the Underlord at 2 and 0, and then shortly followed by the Drow Ranger in 1 and 2. But this is only the first minute into the wave, but already the first wave Alchemist already has 3 last hits, in which case... Yeah, and he's going up against a lane that's pushing against him, so it's really not too bad for him. And he's also quite... he still has a lot of health there and regen, still has 3 regen items, whereas the Witch Doctor is taking a lot of damage. That's what I'm saying. It seems like, to me, they're focusing the wrong hero with the Firestorm.